My skills of using hardware and software has evolved over my 2 years of media studies. Although I use the same Sony Alpha 5.8 DSLR, the way I utilise the interchangeable lenses on a manual focus during the filming for my short film contrasts to the previous year's filming. Although this was more time consuming at the filming stage, it enabled a higher quality sequence. My ability to manipulate the focus enabled focus pulls and alternative depths of fields to be implemented within my work. These were used particularly effectively during the cinematographic opening sequence of my short film. Here the camera focus pulls and shallow depths of fields enable the visuals to be clear and manipulative, associating themselves with the psychological thriller subgenre. The same lighting hardware was used throughout this filming process as in my AS production task. Although identical studio lighting was used during filming, the adjustment of my Neewer softbox lights enabled bouncing off light off neutralised wall. This contrasts to my AS opening sequence where I directed the face of the light directly onto the actors. This development enabled the lighting to be softer, yet still permitting the filmed clips to be captured through same high-key lighting. Similarly, the same Aperture D2V mic external microphone was used to film the audio of my scenes. This hardware was essential for my short film production. The visuals during this production featured as spoken text throughout, unlike my previous opening sequence task where the dialogue featured as voiceover narration only. The external microphone enabled clear external audio to be heard for each element of the small dialogue throughout my production. Having said this, I also used voiceover narrative during my short film task via the masked antagonist video and the radio, as I believed it was effective within my previous production. A Manfrotto tripod was used throughout both production tasks. Closer inspection of the tripod revealed the ability to adjust the length of the centre post of the tripod, enabling the equipment to be more versatile during this year's filming. This adjustment allowed me to appropriately alter the height of the tripod quickly. Unlike my opening sequence task, I used an additional stabiliser which enabled certain movement shots to be filmed without having a handheld camera shake appearance. Similarly, my skills have developed through my abilities of using specific software. WordPress was used to record my research and planning throughout both productions. Additionally, I continued to use Final Cut Pro software for this task. Although my editing remained fairly comparable to that of the work I produced from the previous year, I did improve on the aspect of colour design throughout. For my short film task, I learnt how to colour grade through Final Cut Pro, enabling a more professional illustrated appearance throughout my short film's duration. This contrasts with my previous year's work where I merely used the application of filters such as Combat by means of colour balancing and shadow adjustments. GarageBand was an essential piece of software for my short film. The short film task required the production of totally original music, as other sound effects and musical scores from already produced royalty-free artists were not permitted. GarageBand enabled me to write and compose my own accompanying soundtrack. Through the use of the available library sound adjustments, the built-in keyboard and the volume frequency changes, GarageBand ensured my musical production was suitable for the action occurring throughout my narrative. This resulted in a niche musical score being applied to my short film, an absent feature within my opening sequence task as existing music was used. With regard to the production of my film review, I used 2 modes of software, Microsoft Word and InDesign. Microsoft Word was used to draft my review plan. This content was then applied to InDesign to achieve a more formalised layout. InDesign Media Technology was able to advance my ability of using different software and therefore improve the structure of my finalised film review format. The production of my short film poster required familiarity with Photoshop. This was software that fortunately I had received practice of during my GCSE media studies, producing a replica DVD cover for a new production. This previous task ensured I had the basic understandings of Photoshop's functions, which in turn allowed my production to be more effective. The use of Photoshop permitted me to darken the colours, sharpen the images and blur aspects of the main image from my film poster. Additionally, Photoshop enabled my film poster to be composed as a whole due to its addition of text and font styles, thus appearing more realistic and professional. Overall, throughout the construction processes of the course, my skills in various media technologies have progressed. My rehearsal of application use has enabled my understanding of software to be greater, which in turn has promoted the development of elements of further editing such as colour grading. In particular, my experience of hardware has also ensured that I have become more confident and capable at experimenting with different types of alternate camera mechanisms.